Here we have a really good set of children's books that I grew up with these. It's 12 altogether books. Let me start with the first one. The Gold Book's History of the United States. First one is titled The Explorers, from the year 986 to 1701. This came out. This set of series of books came out when President Kennedy was in office. There's Eisenhower and there's Kennedy. Of course, they also honor Truman and Herbert Hoover. And each book has a real pretty picture. The cover. This one has Christopher Columbus landing in a new world. They're beautiful illustrated books, as you can tell. Very pretty. And they're full of all kinds of historic information. Pictures and explorers. Different explorers and things. The ships that came over. The Pilgrims and all the very first settlers. That's in this first book. You can still find these on eBay. This one's another one right here. This is the second one, The Indian Wars, 1675 to 1774. The Golden Book, History of the United States. Beautiful, beautiful bright colors. So they're starting with the 13 colonies, and it's just full of all kinds of amazing stories about pirates and how colonial period, how people lived. There's Benjamin Franklin. And we're going over to the later period. Book 3, we have the Age of Revolution. That's probably a breaking away from Great Britain, forming our own nation. Declaration of Independence. There's a beautiful copy of that in here. Battles, lots of good stories. Well, these are just really good stories to build a history of the country, and lots of good lessons in here for our young mind children to read. I think I got this one when I was in early 1960s. I think before President Kennedy was assassinated. Number 4, Building the Nation, 1783 to 1850. Tells about the early American government forming and growth of moving out west, changing the shipping, the trade that grew. These are just so full of remarkable stories and a lot of history. And of course, number 5, the Civil War, 1850 to 1865. Of course, the Civil War didn't start in 1850, but it gives you some backdrop to the conflict. All the battles and things that went on. This is really full of a lot of history. The colors are just really beautiful in these books. And number 6, you have the winning of the West. Settling of the western states. Like I said, you can find these books still on eBay and different sites. They're really not too expensive. Shows all the conflicts and things that were going on back then. And of course, the age of steel from 1889 till 1917. It's Theodore Roosevelt, Rough Riders. There's the Wright brothers plane. So it looks like that's the building of the canal, Panama Canal, I believe. San Francisco earthquake, all the things that went on. Beautiful sailing boats, travel, and all the expansion of the country. And of course, then we get into becoming a world power, 1917 to 1940. That's World War I. We got involved in that. That's a Theodore Roosevelt. Just a lot of history here. It's a great resource book for a young child to learn about the country and the world. Mobsters and Great Depression. And of course that's number 8, World War I and the Great Depression. And we have Second World War, 1940 to 1945. Another beautifully illustrated book. Submarine warfare, it covers it all. Then we get into the age of the atom and the from 1945 to present, space age, what I call. So it's a Mercury rocket there. We the people of the United Nations. Crisis with the communist countries and the elections of the 1950s, the McCarthyism and space race, Kennedy's, Nixon-Kennedy debate, atomic weapons. And the last two, number 11, is famous Americans A to L. Benjamin Franklin there and Thomas Jefferson. These are really good stories. Good for papers and things in school if you had to do a report on somebody. That's all the famous people help shape the world in this country. Then of course the last one, Golden Book, History of the United States, Famous Americans from M to Z. Really pretty books, really beautifully colored and done. There you have it. Really good set of books to buy for a child. And they're still available, like I said. 12-volume sets. They just don't make books like this anymore. Really good starter set for history for a young mind.